Okay, so this just recently came out. I know for a lot of people are gonna be in my comments about this, so I'm gonna try to be a nice boy. Try to be nice as possible. Try to be mutual on what I'm trying to watch right now. Apparently there's a little bit of an issue between SmashJT and my boy McDizzle. Um, apparently McDizzle got him in a certain way, and now he made this video. So let me explain. Let me see what the problem was.
I'm not perfect, nor do I try to claim that I am by any.
Automatically, we already know. Don't worry. Trust me, I'm not perfect either. Trust me, I look like fucking super cheap ass Walmart brand Super Mario. Trust me. But anyway, yeah, my teeth are fucking yellow because I drink a lot of fucking soda and coffee. Even as much as I brush my teeth, like that's literally not gonna go. I could get literally the UV light thing, but I'm not gonna waste money on that.
Any stretch. The stuff that I report on this channel and talk about in gaming is stuff that I really enjoy and appreciate and want to push the community forward.
Okay, so I understand your approach, but to push the community forward for gaming, there are so many instances where you haven't done that. I know you probably had the nice intent to, but you have not done that in a lot of areas, many different areas. But you know, as I said, I'm judging too much. Let's hear it.
And sometimes there'll be bad eggs in the community that try their best to knock people down a peg, especially when those people are showing that they're successful and doing better than they are. So it typically boils down to jealousy, trying to be explained away like, oh no, I'm just trying to prove that you are just a grifter. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Apparently, this person by the name of McDizzle or McDrizzle, I don't even know. This person was trying to troll me, and I guess congratulations, you did like successfully troll me with this email that you sent me from a person that works at Ubisoft, or so I thought, because the email that you went above and beyond, like props to you, credit all the way. You created an email address with the person's name, or it looked kind of like the person's name. You signed it with the person's name. You said what you did at the company. And I went to research it before I just went live with the story to double check everything. I'm like, okay, this lines up. This person says this is who they are. I checked the information.
Before I continue on this, let me say this: I do not condone what McDizzle did, because he did confirm that he did do this. No, this is illegal. This is something that you should not do. To be honest, on one side, I do not condone what he does. On the other side, I do believe that SmashJT did fucking deserve it. But mostly on the part where it's not something that I condone. It is something that is illegal. It's something that is bad, and it's called like impersonating. So when you're doing a certain impersonation of that, it goes to a certain extent where it could be very, very off, especially with something like this. On the other hand, this is coming from SmashJT, who apparently has, insiders in certain companies, especially Ubisoft, like he claimed to have. This is weird, that the fact that you didn't know who was what, where was what, how the email was sent by what, and how the email is usually sent by what, when you have these insiders that are giving you all this information for your channel. Especially where the insiders and stuff like that, you do claim to have the insiders, you have claimed that you did do have like insiders within the Ubisoft area, and right there, the fact that you didn't realize it was an issue or possibly a fake, that's kind of on you. But let's continue.
Online, research them, like, yep, that's what that person does, that's what they're there. And the things they said lined up with the reports that I had been hearing from other people regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows potentially being delayed until the next month or two because they've been running into so many issues. The religious thing showing up, Yasuke.
Okay, let me put my opinion on the Yasuke and the religious thing. First of all, apparently now everybody wants to be a fucking historian. Do you know how easy it is to be a fucking historian? Do you know how many people actually are historians in this world that literally do things that are actually benefit? Not too many. It's easy to go to like a museum or library to go ahead and study this stuff. And a lot of historians from Japan had said that Yasuke was a real thing. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people from outside of the Japanese culture said it wasn't a thing. Shut the fuck up. You are not from Japan. You are in no position to go ahead and tell them that their history is not true. Especially when this whole entire thing about Yasuke's history, people are like, oh, he wasn't a samurai. He was a retainer. A retainer is a samurai for hire. That's by definition. All right? And if he was accounted by Oda Nobunaga, in order to do so, you have to become samurai. That's literally what it is. That's literally how you have to go ahead and make sure that you are, appointed by the the daimyo. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking something. I went down the wrong pipe. But a lot of people were saying that, oh, you know what, they didn't existed. Japan doesn't confirm him. Japan has multiple exhibits of Yasuke that are government funded. Most museums in Japan are government funded. So they fund all the exhibits. They even confirm all the exhibits that are going in there. If they didn't confirm Yasuke's thing because it was truthful, they wouldn't have him there. Secondly, the thing about, oh, he's destroying a religious site. I'm going to need people to shut the living fuck up about that, because then that means you have never played an Assassin's Creed game ever in your life. Tell me when you were upset about, because this came from another fucking YouTuber who doesn't have a right mindset. He's upset because the shrine that he holds deep to his Japanese culture is being destroyed. Okay, so were you complaining about this when it was in Valhalla, when a church was being down, or like a chapel was being burned down? How about in Assassin's Creed 2 when you were punching the shit out of the Pope, who was appointed the Pope in the game? This shows me that a lot of these people with these type of outrages are just fucking tourists in video games. I have played every single Assassin's Creed game from up to at least Origins. Valhalla, I just found out about the chapels. There's no fucking way you can go ahead and be upset because this is actually a thing. Stop it. If you're upset about this, then obviously this game is not for you, and your actual idea of what your sense of rage towards the video games or sense of outrage towards the video games is fucked. I don't understand. You just need to stop. Grow the hell up.
Being more back and not.
Oh, by the way, if you're destroying the actual site, then that's you pressing the buttons. You press the buttons, not the fucking characters. You press the buttons. You make every choice of what buttons you press. Stop complaining.
A prominent figure in the game, and Ubisoft potentially going into a sale mode or an acquisition with Tencent. I'm like, okay. The email comes through. It all lines up with everything that I've been hearing and seeing, and this person is just confirming it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna report on that. It makes sense. Everything checks out. Everything lines up.
Once again, though I could laugh because it's SmashJT, I still don't condone what McDizzle did. McDizzle did something that was way off, and in certain areas it is illegal. So that's something that I'm going to state before I continue.
Up. I'm going to run with that. Okay, great. Turns out that no, it was just a troll job from a troll that was trying to prove that for some reason I'm not a trustworthy source because I just run with anything that gets sent to me.
You see, that kind of proves a little bit of a point of where you're getting your info. So with that, it goes to a point where it's like, yes, if you are not doing proper research on certain things, like certain topics, especially with this, because it's easy to do so. A simple Google search And it's easy to say that you have insiders in a company. Like I have insiders in a lot of gaming companies, but then at one point I take their word from a grain of salt because some people would just talk bad about a company because literally it gets to a point where, hey, I'm just having a bad day at work, or one thing has happened to me because I didn't do my job. It's possible. Now, did you make a mistake? You made a mistake. It happens. But as I said, like that has to go with the idea of being good with your journalism. It's like me holding type of information, like for instance, like me being an informant, right? I'm holding some type of information that can go ahead and cause either, the harm for a person or the harm for me. I give you the wrong information and that person gets harmed. That's the problem. That's technically what it is. And as I said, you're admitting that you're not perfect. As I said, that's very big of you. But as I said, it kind of shows where it's like it's very hard to go ahead and take now if people look at your videos in a certain way, which I highly doubt that because a lot of your community is brain dead. They'll go ahead and go with anything that you fucking think. Especially, you can make up anything of a fucking video and they'll think, oh, Smash is telling the truth, Smash is preaching, or Smash is coming up with the thing of like that. Like he's like, oh, he's coming up with all this info on this company. Oh, now I'm not gonna buy from this company. Like that's what they're doing. So they'll believe anything you'll say, regardless.
I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Except for you don't see how many things that get sent to me that I ignore or that
Hello, Smash. I'm a previous employee from one true K. Okay, so let me say this. If
I double check and I don't.
I'm gonna say this, if you're trying to get any videos on Asmongold, first of all, the man needs to learn how to clean up his fucking house. I don't want to go ahead and even think about Asmongold. Asmongold's a fucking weirdo. Asmongold is weird.
Feel comfortable enough to move forward with it, so I never say anything about it. So I would argue what you did here was you got past my filters of research, checking, and making sure everything lines up before I go live with it. It is what it is, but I look at the situation as, hey, it's a learning experience for me. I'm going to try to be better. But trying to say that, oh, this just proves that you're no different than mainstream media, I'm like, okay, here's the thing. Would mainstream media do this? Would they say, hey, I got, this was a troll job and everything that I thought that they sent me lined up? Like, or would they?
No, because in true honesty, in certain areas, a lot of people will not believe mainstream media because everybody thinks that the mainstream media is going after them. Not every aspect in the world, the mainstream media is going after them. Okay? One person's experience doesn't go ahead and go past, research and journalism in any type of way, whereas actually given information from things like doctors and stuff like that. That's what happens in the mainstream media. But in this area where you're at, it's gaming media. Gaming media comes to a point where a lot of people might not like a game. The area like Kotaku or IGN or in any other places, Gamers Rant will give the game a certain let's say a certain score. Everybody be like, oh, well, why would you give it none? You guys don't play the game. That's not true. Blah blah blah. It's all opinionated from the gaming area. Like right now, Avowed is doing pretty good. The only issue is that it has bugs at the beginning, and there's like certain issues with that, which they can fix with a patch. But besides that, it is a pretty decent game. Everybody's like, "Oh no, you guys are shilling for that." No, it's just a fucking opinion. Stop being upset because you have a fucking opinion on a video game. Some of you guys think that automatically when someone has an opinion, then you guys think that, "Oh no, you should be telling the truth." No, maybe you should just stop being upset at other people's fucking opinion. Like, here's my opinion. I think fucking people who play Dark Souls games and who love fucking Dark Souls games, thinking that they're the greatest games of all time, they're just closeted masochists. But doesn't mean that Dark Souls is not successful. Doesn't mean that Elden Ring is not successful. Doesn't mean that Black Myth Wukong was not successful. But it's all opinionated. The thing is, with that, is just that it's different from taking a YouTuber's voice also, because now people have been proven from the YouTube area that they're actually getting paid for reviews. So yes, it also shows that you are someone like mainstream media. You could also be wrong. You could also have your own fucking opinion. But then the problem is, he showed more of the fact that like your research was way off, and that you know for a fact that you fucked up. So it's a possibility that everything that you did in prior videos could be false as well. Do you know how easy it is that someone can go ahead and say like, oh, you know what, I have insiders in Ubisoft. I could say I have insiders in Bethesda. I could say I have insiders in Blizzard or fucking goddamn NetEase. I could talk about goddamn Marvel Rivals or Overwatch. And it's so easy to do so because you can't give up your source. Because one, they could lose their job, or they could even possibly, even worse, get to a point where they're penalized to a point where the leaks actually could cause them to get sued. It's possible. Fucking, you really think that Borderlands didn't go crazy with sending someone to someone's house because they leaked Borderlands 3? It's possible. It is definitely possible. So
They just kind of quietly delete the article and be like, oh, well, something didn't line up and move on from it. My point being is nobody's perfect, nor do I expect anyone to be, especially the people that I'm criticizing when I make videos talking about them. Like, at the end of the day, we're all human.
so I can understand that you're perfect, but you are in one instance of an ass. I can tell you why. So when I made a video about you and Grums, and I was calling you guys out because you made a racist comment to a company calling it Spear Chucker Videos, you had put that video on a stream of yours, and then all of a sudden it is only streamer only views. So anything of like, you know, your subscribers can only view that stream. Now here's the thing, my video got ratioed. I got more dislikes than likes, which I could care less about. But I kept that shit public so people can see. Why did you go ahead and put your thing for subscriber only? Because you know what you were doing. Because I found out like almost like an hour after it was done. Because I woke up during the middle of the night. Apparently, you were making fun of my looks, my teeth. You apparently thought I was attacking your wife and your daughter. So here's what I said in the video. I said that it is embarrassing for a 40-something to 50-something-year-old man to be worrying about, you know, other women's bodies, whether it's in gaming or outside of gaming, while having a wife or a family. It is very off. It is very embarrassing. If I was related to that person, I would be very, very disappointed. I would not want to have anything to do with that. It could be either from a dad. It could be either from a mom who is doing that. It could be for anybody in the family. Whoever does that, that's very embarrassing, and you would not want to be seen with that individual. Especially with someone on his actual view count when his view count is pretty good. And then here's the thing. There was a whole entire tweet where he was like, "Oh, well, thank you for the video. Now I could go ahead and make money off of that with the chats and everything." Like, dude, you have like almost like 11K subscribers. I think you're making that money already. You're making that money with views. You're making that money with the subscribers. You're making that money from like the time watching your views. If you're not, then I don't know what to tell you.
I'd like to think that that's something that you'd understand as well, because we're all human. Nobody's perfect. I'm not some giant corporation, some mega Fortune 500. I'm literally a dude in a shed making videos about the game industry, things that I find interesting, and things that insiders pass along to me. And
You see, now here's the thing. It's different for you because you might not be a mega corporation, but you have a big following. And that big following, which is full of subscribers that do nothing but grift, that believe that woken DEI exists in video game, which it does not exist, which blame everything on Sweet Baby Inc., which Sweet Baby Inc. is just now almost more responsible for most of the games that are very popular, like God of War, Spider-Man 2, and much more. And then people want to go ahead and say this or that. These people in your community, and you know what, I kind of don't blame you. I blame the people of community that they're saying that the woken DEI and nonsense, and they're grifting, saying all this bullshit about video games in the gaming country and the game community, talking about, you know, gaming companies doing this and that, are the reason why You're you're being popular. They follow this nonsense. They don't have an actual real thought from their own, and they're just tourists in video games. They're not real gamers. That's the sad part.
And for the most part, I've been pretty spot on with everything that's been sent to me up to this point. And yeah, I'm not going to bat 1,000. I don't expect to ever do that. But at the same time, whenever I make these videos, I also say, like, take it with a grain of salt. I am not the person. And also, oh, by the way, even if they are a confirmed insider, even if they are showing me proof of who they are and what they're saying, sometimes what they say still doesn't happen. Sometimes it changes. Like, that's the thing. So, if anything, take this as educational information and entertainment, but it's not ever going to be 100% perfect. That's kind of like my approach with the videos is I hope you're enjoying.
So I understand you're not going to be perfect, but if that leaves a dent where your journalistic mindset is at, or where your journalistic integrity is at, when you have those leaks, it goes to a point where, yeah, it's going to be questionable now because you should have known. If you are gonna tell me that, like, oh, like, you know, these leaks can be a thing, or like take it with a grain of salt, and you should have known that maybe the email was a false. The email was not real. You see, I that comes to a point, because if I got an email like that, and I'll be like, no, what the fuck is this? I don't understand this. I don't think that, you know, especially with how I write emails, I try to be as professional as possible. Some, especially with the ones that you showed, they don't even look like they were professionally written. Like, you could tell. But as I said, it's you have to be better at doing stuff like that.
Enjoying your time. I hope you enjoy and be entertained with the videos. I hope you don't expect perfection from anybody on YouTube, because you're going to be severely disappointed. And this is coming from someone, this McDizzle character, whatever, that has some sort of weird hard on for hating on Grums. And apparently, because I don't hate on Grums too, he then wanted to find a way to knock me down a notch.
Dude, everybody hates Grums. There are videos, almost probably like 30 minutes or more, about Grums and his negativity in the gaming industry. The guy was a developer for games like Diablo 2, and then he had another one, which I don't think anybody remembers, and then he has the Ember Project. Now, apparently, in this Ember Project, a lot of people are disappointed, and then he's asking for more money on a project that is not that damn good. It's already like almost past probably like $1 million. And with that situation, a lot of people just don't like Grums because he's trying to be the negative in the gaming industry. He's not really a positive in the gaming industry. And why you're added in is because of affiliation. Now, why I don't like Grums, and this is specifically it, I don't like Grums because of the fact that there was a situation where he's trying to go ahead and get, you know, DEI and wokeness out of video games, which doesn't exist. He pointed out the Call of Duty Endowment Program, which helps veterans find jobs after they served, and high paying jobs to take care of their family. And then he tried to get that program kicked out and removed. When you're trying to remove something from the veterans that are actually trying to go ahead and do more for your country, and especially who are giving you the ability to have that freedom of speech of what you're doing right now, it's a problem with me. That is absolutely a problem. If you don't believe it, I have a video on that right now. You could take a look at that. I actually have the tweet about it. I have the actual tweet where he tweeted the freaking Secretary of Defense about it. Where he like literally wanted to go ahead and send the information to the DOD. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, my thing is, you got it targeted by affiliation. That's why.
I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's what you want to do. That's, some people just do what they want to do. They play hardball, and they come at people, and they will do things that are not logical, that are very autistic, that are just very not of this planet.
Just like how you made that stream of me making fun of me and my looks. I gotta understand. Like, I would agree with you on that one if you were not guilty of that same situation. But it also comes to the point where, hey, you don't like. What is also off is being part of a stream, which apparently you didn't have nothing to do with, but you were caught in there with a bunch of racist people making fun of a joke about a guy who owns a company that is African American, and then you call this company Spear Chucker, what, Spear Chucker Studios. I mean, you don't find that a little bit off? That's okay with you? Apparently, you guys got in contact with him, and then like you guys laughed it off. Um, you know what? Maybe that guy was like, okay, it's just a joke, but morally, I still can't stand behind that. No.
Just to say, hey, I showed the world that SmashJT is human. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I know. I could have told you that myself. I don't understand how this is an own. And when I pair it with all the other information with what was going on with Ubisoft at this time, I'm like, yeah, even with this being a confirmed troll job, that still could happen. Like, that's what I'm saying. So, if anything, take it for what it's worth. The information that I present in the video was combined with other insights that I've gotten from other areas alongside what's transpiring right now at Ubisoft, which is a complete cluster shit show that
It's a cluster shit show because you believe it's a cluster shit show. It's a cluster shit show because the people in your community, and sadly your community, think that they know history and some of them want to pretend to be historians. They're not historians. Some of them want to pretend to be gamers. I can literally say I'm probably 10 times more of a gamer than anybody in that company, 100%. In your community, 100%. Because these guys don't do proper research on shit that has happened within like the gaming series that apparently they love and stuff like that, and they just want to go ahead and be upset at nothing. They want to be upset at something that does not exist. When people scream woke and DEI, these are people that are just upset at moral things, at like natural morality things. These are people that have a fucking moral issue. Like let's do it for the DEI thing, diversity. So you're telling me you don't want people who look like you or other people from other areas to be part of gaming? Equity. You don't want let's say if you're in the FGC, you don't want a female gamer to be a top player. There are top players who are also in Overwatch, League of Legends, and even now Marvel Rivals who are gamers themselves, who are female gamers. Inclusion. You don't like the idea that people are included that look like them, or the fact that they have the same background story, because inclusion doesn't just go with race or gender, it also goes with background story. Think about it as this way. Let's say if I'm making a pool, right? And the only way to get into the pool is either take the steps or climb the ladder. Each pool has one side 3 feet, then 5 feet, and then there's the 8-foot area. Okay. Now let's say there's someone who is in a wheelchair. Like they can get into the pool, but they're like, hey, you know what? I can't go ahead and swim. I'm just gonna sit in the area where the let's say the lower part of that. Let's say the 3 foot. They can't take the stairs. So you know how you do that? Some places and some pools actually have a ramp near the stairs. Or if not, they actually have the actual ground level matching with the pool, like in some theme parks. And then they can actually just like go in there and they could just like at one point crawl to that area. And then they could just move into a point where they're sitting in. That's inclusion. And the problem is a lot of people have an issue with that, apparently. But the problem is their definition, these grifters' definition of wokeness and DEI matches nothing to anything in video games because it makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense.
Is burning down as we watch. Like it's happening in real time right now. So getting this email lined up exactly with everything else that I'd been seeing and hearing, it just made sense.
Once again, the idea of Ubisoft burning down is in your head. And it's because if it comes to the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing, is in your fucking head. And it's not you specifically in your head, Smash. It's in people's heads who are saying that. Because guess what? In the process, people are still gonna buy this fucking game. People have an outrage for many different games, and guess what? They're gonna go ahead and buy this game. They had the exact same thing with Black Myth Wukong, where at one point the actual company that made it were going ahead and limiting certain speech and DMCAing certain speech from certain streamers and certain video games. But you know what? They didn't want to say anything about that. People were upset because now they didn't get Game of the Year. People were questioning why it was gonna get Game of the Year either. But as I said, some of that outrage is just ridiculous.
But he was claiming that I don't check my sources. I didn't even bother asking if it was him or anything like that. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter if I asked him for more information, because clearly if he was trolling, he would have come up with something else to push it around or say, oh.
But here's the thing, he still got to you. That's the problem. Like, when you get all this info here and you already know where you're getting your leak from, because you know your leaks. If you have a leak in there, if you have a mole inside a company, you know who the fucking moles are. Unless somehow you're throwing money their way. Who knows? Maybe it could be a friend because you were a game tester in multiple gaming areas. It could possibly be a friend. But you're throwing money their ways. So that's kind of your thing. It's kind of your fault.
Oh, I'm skittish, I can't say anything here. And at the end of the day, it's just his word, and I gotta either trust it or not. And I trusted it, and it was not the right thing to believe. But it was clearly done with malicious intent, like going out of your way to try to fool someone and trick them just to say you can't trust people. I would argue doesn't prove anything, because sure, if people are going to do that kind of thing, of course, people are going to be fooled and tricked. It's just going to happen.
No, it just means that you have to be a lot more protective of what you're doing. It means that when you're actually going ahead and doing this journalistic idea, you have to actually be serious about what you're getting. If I'm getting information about something from someone, or I'm getting information about something from a company, I want to make sure that shit is legit. Even regardless if it's a leaker or someone of a close friend, I need to know if that info is legit. Like this is me coming from an area where I've studied gaming business, game design, game development, and I have also studied gaming history. This is all areas where you have to get all your information legit, even the history of gaming, when the year it was actually made, what was the first game, when was the first time a cartridge actually was created, what was the first style of controller, stuff like that. And then you need to find out your information from it. Some people can give you that information and it can still be wrong in the process. You still gotta just do some background checks. You have to be smarter when you're doing those background checks.
And also, oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but I was very busy today. And this is something that was a timed event. And that's kind of how it got me. Because it was like, oh, Ubisoft is going to announce this next week. And I'm like, oh, I need to get this out right now because I have stuff going on with the family this weekend. I don't have time to do a video this weekend, and I don't want it to be announced by Ubisoft on Monday. So I'm just going to run with it right now because everything makes sense with it. It all lines up. And sure, if it ends up being a troll job at the end of the day, I can still fall back on saying, well, okay, you got me with a troll job, but also this is something that is highly likely that is happening with Ubisoft. You literally proved nothing except that, yeah, you tried to confirm a rumor by claiming that you're an insider, when at the end of the day, now we just have you trying to troll somebody on a rumor that is still, in my opinion, very likely to occur. So,
but once again, it's your opinion. Now, a lot of things can happen and occur within the gaming industry, whether it's in a gaming company, whether it's in an indie company or this or that. You just have to have confirming. You can have an opinion of what could possibly happen, but as I said, that's all based on your head. That's all in your head. You have to have that confirmation.
Congratulations on getting an own on me. If that's how you look at life, that's really pathetic and embarrassing. But hey, different strokes for different folks. My concern now is there's going to be an influx of people that are going to be trying to do this to me. So I'm going to need to try to vet a lot harder and ignore a lot more of you. And that's really unfortunate because now this breaks the trust that I had with the community, where I need to put on a much harder filter with stuff that comes through on emails that I haven't been able to even keep up with myself. And I'm trying my best over here. And it's really unfortunate that something like this happens, that you need to now take a step back and be like, yep, now I can't give any credence to anybody. And now I'm going to be a little bit more gun shy when moving forward with stuff. So
That's the internet. That's what you got to do. So here's my opinion on this. Because apparently before this, McDizzle actually got doxxed. Now, here's my thing about this. I do not think that when it comes to getting doxxed by McDizzle getting doxxed, which apparently that's a thing, let's say if it did happen, I do not think SmashJT personally had anything to do with it. I would say most of the time, his community had to do with it, and his community has to hold that L. Now, here's the problem with it. Now, and this is why I went ahead and held my comments on my private video, trying to go at SmashJT and Grums, which in my opinion I did. Because, as I said, I didn't agree with what they did on those aspects. There were comments in the area, which exactly I held them. And if I deemed your comment to go through, I will let it go through. Because if you can see, some of the comments are there. There were comments saying like, hey, bro, why don't you just set up a fight between you and Smash? So, people in your community were not just ratioing my video, they were also implying a one-on-one fight between me and SmashJT. Which apparently he wouldn't do so, because I'll tell you why he wouldn't do so. Because this is the same guy that was in a stream saying, oh, look, by the way this guy looks or anything like that, if I saw him coming my way, I'd probably walk the other direction. I'm like, okay, no problem. Now, this is your community instigating a fight. So, McDizzle getting doxxed wouldn't be a surprise that your community did it. Now, what sucks is that I can't show those comments because of the fact that I removed them. That's why my video had comments being held. That's why a lot of the people who went ahead and did those comments, those rude ass comments that were very unintellectual, that were disturbing, didn't have their comments go through, because guess what? I held them, and that's what happened. So, you know what? It sucks. So the problem is he can't hold his community like accountable, because guess what? Then they'll turn on him. That's a major issue.
That's what they wanted. They wanted to knock me down. They wanted to bring me back down to earth and make me feel like I'm a nobody and that I suck and that I'm useless and all that. I'm like, great. That's what you got. Good for you. But at the end of the day, the channel itself is still going gangbusters. I'm still busting my ass every day here, and I'm still being as honest as I can and as transparent as I can with the audience, with all you guys. And I'm not going to get everything right every time. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to be infallible. And when I do get trolled, or when I do screw something up, those of you who've been around the channel for a long time would know this already, that I'll do a video like this where I'm like, yeah, I got. I'm not perfect. They got me on this one. Congratulations. Live to fight another day and we move on. But it's really just, that's what it comes down to. What's really sad, though, I'll say, is there's a lot of people in the community that I've seen that are cheering this on, that are like so excited that they got an own. And it kind of hit me on two fronts, because it's like, man, one, there's a lot of really hateful, spiteful people out there.
Just like you were when you made that stream trying to make fun of my looks. Can you take it off subscriber only? Because my video is still public. So you have the audacity to tell people like, oh, there's a lot of hateful people that do rude things, but then at one point you made a whole stream like with stuff like that, making fun of my looks, making fun of my teeth, making fun of like everything. You know what sucks? I can't even see it because it's on subscriber only. I found out like almost like an hour when I woke up or like late at night. So you're gonna apologize for that one? I'll wait for it if you want to apologize, but by all means. So here's, as I said, with two things, I don't think McDizzle did the right thing. But then at one point, if it wasn't McDizzle, who else is gonna do it? Probably somebody else. Who knows?
And two, these people couldn't wait to get an own on me, and I'm like, why? What is it? What is it about me that you just want to bring me down?
It's because you're an ass. Straightforward. Reason why people want to bring you down, and me included, which I can, in true honesty, I hope your channel goes down. But for this situation, I have a little bit of sympathy for you because, as I said, it goes to a point where it's like, as I said, I don't think you had anything to do with the situation. But the reason why people are going at you is because your videos have a lot of areas where you're doing the negative in the gaming industry. You're doing negative in the gaming community. As I said, with the spear chucker videos thing, with things such as, like, trying to tell the guy who you guys made a racial joke about, and then now you speak to him, apparently you're all good, and he has to do self-reflection, but you haven't done any self-reflection of the negative that you've done. Like also, the people you're affiliated with are also the people that you hang out with are also the people that are similar to what type of mindset you have. You know Grums. You know people like Vera Dark, which I don't know what the fuck she's doing here. And then you had like people who were making things like the Real Gamer Awards, which are absolutely fucking ridiculous. You know people like this is because of simple affiliation. Even with simple affiliation, if you know certain people, then guess what? People will come at you for that. But yes, I say you're an ass because at one point, as I said, when I came at you about that, you had a full-on stream commenting on my looks, commenting on my video, which you had every right to do. But then when I looked at it, it was subscriber only. So what you did was made your fans pay, and pay subscriptions to you, where my thing is free and it's on the thing and it got ratioed. And as I say, your community came at me for that, especially setting up a one-on-one fight between us, trying to be like, hey, set up a one-on-one fight with you and Smash. I'm like, what? Which probably you didn't know. And which probably exactly where you probably didn't know your community did a doxing on McDizzle, sorry. So it is a possibility with that, but you gotta keep your community intact with that. But that is why people are going at you for that. And it's very, very weird, as I said, from every video that I did about you, about Grums, especially being affiliated with Grums, is automatically makes you a bad person affiliated with it. This guy is a blight in gaming. So my opinion of you is that the people you're affiliated with, maybe you gotta move away from those individuals. So that's why people won't target you. Or if certain things go down the wrong way, especially with the jokes about the developer who owns that company was African American, and you were there in the chat, boom, you could just like, nope, I'm out of that chat. I'm out. Wait, no, you stood there. You made jokes about it. So it's simple with the fact that your actions and your affiliations are exactly why people are going at you. That's what happens. Like, you really think that I'm going to be a fan of someone who is affiliated with Logan Paul? No, I fucking hate the Pauls. I could care less about the Pauls. But then there's this guy, let's say of a guy named Jack Woodstock, who is affiliated with the Pauls. He's like, hey, you know what, you can go ahead, I'm a streamer now. No, I'm not going to subscribe to his shit. I'm not going to follow his shit. Because he's with the Pauls. I'm not going to do that. Aiden Ross. I hate Aiden Ross because he's affiliated with Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. I don't go affiliate with people like that. That's why.
Like, genuinely, what is it? Is it just you don't like seeing people be successful in this world? Is it you don't want me to grow the channel because you feel like you're not amounting to anything in your life? Like, it's really sad. Like, I was reading through all the replies and they were like, "Oh my god, you legend, you totally trolled him. You got him."
It has nothing to do with your success in the YouTube. It has nothing to do. It's just the idea because of your mentality. A lot of people are successful from doing what they're doing, but then their mentalities and their morals are way fucking off. Like Kanye is a successful rapper, but his morals are fucking off and he's fucking psychotic. Why I'm going after him because of the fact that he has more money or he's successful? No, it's because his fucking morals and ethics are fucking off. So it has nothing to do with your success, which obviously you're at 111K, which you've earned that success. You've actually worked hard for it. As I said, like it just goes to a point where is who you're aligned with or some of the moves you make.
You got. I'm just like, what was the point of all this? I don't get it. I'm genuinely confused. All this does is set back everything, but it is what it is. If people would realize that we're human and we are not perfect, I think that's really all that matters. And knowing that I'm trying my best and that I'm not perfect, I wasn't born perfect, and everything that happens every day, I will try to take with me and learn from and be better. And that's my promise to all of you guys. That always has been my promise. So, yeah, at this point, I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, congrats to McDizzle or McDrizzle, whatever, for getting the troll job on me. Um, Great. Yeah, I'll see you guys on my live stream tonight. Thank you guys so much for the support. 8 p.m. Pacific time every night. We'll definitely be talking about this one tonight, and yeah, go from there. But thank you guys again, all of you that do support me. I genuinely appreciate all you, and know that I'm going to try my best to be better and move forward from this in a better way. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Now, I can give him props for admitting that he got caught or like he got like checked. I can definitely give him props to that. Um, at the end of the day, um, when it comes to like things like what McDissel did, I don't condone it. I don't condone what he did. As much as you don't like Smash JT, as much as you don't like Grums, that is an illegal way to do things. But to be honest, if it wasn't going to be him, it was most likely going to be someone else. I think a lot of people go after Smash JT and Grums simply because they are the negative in the gaming industry. They're the negative in the gaming communities. If you're gonna say that he's not the negative in the gaming industry, he wouldn't be getting leaks and stuff like that. He wouldn't have someone on the inside doing so, which they could actually get in trouble for that. Now, for instance, I don't think, because apparently, as I said, McDizzle actually got doxxed as well. I don't think Smash JT had any info on that. I don't think he did it by himself. I think, for true honesty, what people screwed it up for Smash JT on that, if McDizzle got doxxed, was his community. As I said, it wouldn't be surprising. I said, this is a community that ratioed my video when and tell me, I was like, oh, where's your proof about this, when it's right there on the fucking videos. There was major amounts of proof and they just didn't want to see it. And as I said, withholding my comments on their videos, and on the video that I have, there were comments saying, hey, you know what, why don't you set up a match with Smash and you, like a fight, like an actual exhibition. It's like, bro, I like, cool. If you want to do like for instance, like a lot of people are just weird for that. A lot of people are just so fucking weird for that, and you just call your community, you want to do that, and then you want to just like find out from your actual community that they're causing issues for you. you know. And he, as I said, he can't hold his community because they will turn on him. He can't do that. But in true honesty, as I said, if it wasn't gonna be McDizzle, it was gonna be him. It was gonna be someone else because people are getting really sick and tired of him, sick and tired of Grums, sick and tired of Very Dark. A lot of these individuals that are just blights in fucking gaming. They're blights in gaming in general, and I can't wait for these individuals to leave. But you know, that's what happened. But as I said, I do commend SmashJT for being like, hey, you know what? I got it. I got screwed. There you go. I can admit, like, you know, a lot of people don't have the you know, have the guts to admit that. That's actually very nice of him. But as I said, if it wasn't gonna be McDizzle, who else was it gonna be? Most likely it was gonna be someone else from another community or someone who just couldn't take you and Grums' shit anymore. Who knows?